the infinite banking concept. So let's define for anybody listening to us right now, what is infinite banking?
Yeah, so it's simple. It's a process, okay? So the infinite banking concept is not a product. It's a process of taking back the banking functions in your life. If you look at how a bank operates, all infinite banking is, it's mimicking everything that a bank does, but doing it with your own banking system. So I always tell people, I said, why don't you own a bank? And they always laugh at me and, oh, come on, really? I'm not rolling like that. No. Owning a bank is one thing. You can have a brick and mortar, or performing the daily functions of how a bank operates is a whole different thing, and it's something everybody can do. That's all infinite banking is. It's literally a process of mimicking what a bank does every day, but then it's adding a vehicle, a machine that we're going to run our money through. So literally everything I do involves one change for somebody. Everybody puts their money in a bank to start. That's usually where the money goes first. Yep. And when you do that, you're giving up control of your money to the bank. I mean, look at back in COVID when it hit. If you wanted to take all your money out of the bank would say no. You could only have $4 or $5 grand. You can't take it all. So who's in control? Is it you or the bank? It's the bank. So if you change one thing and you change where your money goes first, that's the best step. So that's what we teach, is we change where the money goes. We put it into a machine that's been around for hundreds of years, the same one.
But Chris, the bank has a building. The bank has an ATM machine. The bank has like people and systems and stuff. I get paid and I want to put it in my own bank.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I do. So
what is my own bank? Yeah.
So this process, this concept, the infinite banking concept, no, but what the machine is, this is an insurance company. It's not a bank. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds back in their day, and you could maybe sprinkle in JP Morgan, they were bankers, but they didn't trust the banking system. So they had to find a better way to store their capital in a safer place. So they looked around and they found insurance companies. What are the strongest financial institutions then and today? It's not banks. Banks don't even have their own money. They have our money. Insurance companies have all the money. So what they did is they found giant mutually owned insurance companies, and they then had to find a way is how do we get our capital into an insurance company? Because you can't just walk into a giant insurance company and say, hey, I got all this money. Can I deposit it? They'll say, there's the door. Get back out. So they had to create a banking type system using what was available, and what was available back then is the same thing as today. It was a whole life insurance policy. So is the machine.
I've heard whole life insurance policies are like the worst policies to have. What makes this whole, like, I just open up a whole life insurance policy and I'm now a bank?
That'd be a big mistake if you did that. Because I'll agree, like just like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, they always say, oh, whole life is the worst place to put your money. Right you are, Dave Ramsey. We're not talking about a regular whole life. So we had to figure this out. We had to figure out how do the banks do this, because the number one purchaser of whole life in the world are traditional banks. Last time I checked, they had $97 billion in whole life, but they don't call it whole life. They call it BOLI. Any one of you can look that up. It's BOLI. Google it, and hundreds of pages come up. So banks put their money in whole life, but do you think the bank is buying the same whole life as you and I would get walking into the insurance store?
Yeah, probably not.
Absolutely not. So we had to find out, what do the banks do to put money into these? And they flip them upside down and design them differently. So when we're talking about a whole life, we're talking about a completely different design of the contract. We actually take the contract of a regular whole life from a specific insurance company and we build it backwards. Most life insurance, or whole life specifically, is for a death benefit. You buy it, you pay a premium, and when you die, somebody gets money.
Yep.
Have you ever met anyone in your life that cares more about the money someone gets the day they die than they do about the money in their bank today? Really? Because I haven't either.
No.
Everybody's like, hey, I'd rather the money in my bank than somebody getting paid the day I die. So they had to reverse engineer. So when we build it, we put the lowest death benefit, the highest cash value, and we do it through special riders in the way that the plans are designed. But a unique thing happens, because a lot of people say, well, great, if that's such a great vehicle to put your money, then how come my advisor never told me to do this? Because the advisor would have to take a 60 to 90% pay cut in order to do this. I was a financial advisor 16 years. Never once in 16 years was I taught about this.